Okay, this is going to be a what is your physical body telling you reading. I am going to use the Neo Tarot deck, which is a self-care, healing and empowerment tarot deck. So that's the theme around the deck. So I have some questions to guide the reading, to give the answers that might be needed. Okay, so the first question is, how is my body feeling today? Just one card, please. How is my body feeling today? How is your body feeling today? So we have the Queen of Pentacles. How my body is feeling today. So the Queen of Pentacles is grounded and secure and stable and abundant. It is an earth energy. So if you're in the Queen of Pentacles energy, you're very connected to nature. You are connected to the tangible physical things. So we might actually be very aware of what we are feeling in our bodies today. And maybe we have been connecting to our bodies and how we are feeling and what our bodies is needing, or that is something that we need to do. But we'll get to that question. So I feel like we are more and more aware of our physical health and our physical well-being, and we are able to sense more and more when we are feeling good and when we are not, when we have pain, when we have discomfort and dis-ease, which is disease or illness, and we are not so much overlooking our physical health anymore. It's become really difficult to overlook it. It's almost as if our bodies are speaking up and saying, hey, pay attention. I am not okay, or I need this, or I need that. But sometimes it's difficult to interpret what it's telling us, or even when we can interpret what it is that our bodies are telling us, it's sometimes not easy to know exactly how to adjust and how to give our bodies what it needs. So that brings us to the next question. What my body needs right now. Seven of Wands. Okay. So Wands is fire energy. Seven of Wands in traditional tarot is a card of, or an energy of standing up for ourselves and defending ourselves. So our bodies, this card is literally saying that your body is asking you to take a stand and defend yourself against anything that might affect your physical well-being negatively. So that can be anything from if you are required to do more work in your job or more in your life than your body can cope with or can handle, or more than what is good for your body, standing up for yourself and saying, no, I'm resting now. I will do this when I have the capacity. It could even be standing up against yourself, when you know that this thing is not good for my body, for your body, saying no to it or saying yes to the things that are good for you. That is self-care and self-love. So what your body needs right now is for you to protect it and defend it and stand up for it. And that sounds very abstract, but it really is about choosing yourself and taking care of yourself the way you would take care of someone else. If your child, for example, was being bullied, you would remove the child from the situation, or confront the situation so that your child isn't bullied anymore. So where in your life are there people, things, or situations, or even you, where you are bullying yourself or hurting yourself, that you need to take a stand and say no, no more? And we might clarify these. Let's see. The next question is how to improve the way I'm taking care of my body. How do we improve the way we take care of our bodies? Too many. Just one, please. How to improve the way we take care of our bodies. Okay, Three of Swords. The Three of Swords in traditional tarot is a card of heartache, disappointment, sadness, emotional pain. There's 3 swords stabbed into this heart. So I feel like what this card is saying in relation to this reading is to pay attention to our emotions. Our emotions are an indicator of, well, it's how we're feeling, right? But how we're feeling is an indicator of, it's a message, signals from our body. It's often easier to pick up on how we're feeling emotionally than how we're feeling physically, just because throughout our lives and over the span of humanity, pushing ourselves further than we should go, doing more than we should do, and literally hurting ourselves has become such a subconscious thing that we don't even realize we're doing it. We are so accustomed to working under great amounts of stress and exhaustion and overwhelm that it's normal. So if your body's feeling tired, you're just like, hey, I gotta go to work. Too bad, let's go. If you are feeling sick, you might be like, okay, I'll pop something, I'll take some pills, or just ignore it and hoping that it would go away. So we often tend to ignore the physical symptoms and signals that our body is telling us, but it's harder to ignore our emotional signals. So I think how we can improve the way we take care of our bodies is by listening to the messages our emotions and feelings are trying to send us. That's a way that our body communicates. So more often than not, our physical health or ill health starts with emotional or mental problems. So you might be worried and overthinking and in your head a lot and not feeling your emotions and not taking care of yourself. And then that can result in headaches or migraines if it persists over a long period of time. chronic conditions tend to start with emotions as well. You know, you can have an underlying emotional trauma, grief, heartache that has gone unacknowledged and unresolved, and over time that can cause tension in your body, in certain areas. If you have anxiety for a prolonged period of times, it can be lead to digestive problems, and over time it can lead to something serious like an ulcer, just as an example. So again, how to improve the way we are taking care of our bodies is to listen to the signals our bodies are giving us. Listen to our emotions. Hear what your feelings are trying to say to you. When you are angry, your body is trying to say, somewhere you've just gone against yourself or have in the past, and now it's coming up for your attention. Or if you're angry, did you just allow something to happen that wasn't for your highest good? Did someone say something that hurt your feelings and you didn't stand up for yourself? Did someone ask you, or a situation ask you to do something that went against your better judgment, or what feels good, or what is right for you and not for the other person, and you did it anyway? Did you skip breakfast even though you could feel that you were hungry? Can you feel in your body that your body is asking for more movement, and you've been sitting at your desk all day for the last week and you haven't given it time to relax and move? Whatever it is your body is trying to tell you, it's going to speak through your emotions, and it's really important that we pay attention to how we're feeling. Okay, the next question is something I need to take more seriously about my body. What do we need to take more seriously, specifically in this reading for whoever's watching? What do I need to take more seriously in my body? Is there something specific that needs to be taken care of urgently? What do we need to take? Too many. Just one, please. There's something serious, something specific that needs urgent attention that we need to take seriously. Just one card, please. Maybe there are a lot of things that we need to be taking more seriously. Okay, that's the one. The Chariot. Okay, let's just feel into this card. Something I need to take more seriously about my body. The Chariot is the Cancer zodiac sign. This card specifically, this guy or girl is meditating. She's got two dogs on the side here. Dogs are loyal companions. I think this card is just specifically talking about meditating. And meditating can be anything from listening to a guided meditation, or sitting down and taking a moment to just breathe and focusing on our breath. Meditation can be doing something to clear our minds if we are having negative thoughts or low vibrational thoughts. If our minds are too busy, taking a moment, it could be anything from just sitting outside and looking at the leaves blowing in the breeze, or actually doing a structured meditation. And again, it requires us to feel into our bodies what is necessary. So this card, I think, is speaking specifically about meditation. As humans, we tend to be in our heads a lot. We have learned how to bypass everything and use the brain and the mind as the CEO, the executor. So in the mind, we are making the decisions, and we're bypassing our emotions and feeling everything cognitively, making it logical. And then our mind is still required to carry out all the functions and all the work, because ultimately it controls the body. But so we really need to give our minds a break from all the thinking and allow ourselves to feel more, until we get to a place where we can balance the two out, where we can allow ourselves to feel and think, and sort of what we do is a balance between what our emotions is telling us and what our minds are telling us. So yeah, it is important to give our minds a break, and meditation is a good way to do that. How can I improve the way I listen to my body? I feel like that one wants to come out. How can I improve the way I listen to my body? Okay, so this is the Two of Pentacles, and it's the card of juggling more than one thing. And I think we are very good at, or maybe not even good at it, we think we are, but we are very used to juggling more than one thing at a time. And it's like the world requires that of us, but that's only because we've accepted that as a truth. You can change your reality whenever you want. Yes, it's difficult if you're a mother or a father and you've got a job and you've got XYZ responsibilities. People are dependent on you, things need to get done. But what happens if we drop all the balls? Say we're juggling 10 balls. If we drop all the balls, yes, maybe maybe someone's going to be angry at you because you didn't do something. Maybe someone is going to go without something because you didn't manage to get to that thing. Yes, things might fall apart, but we really have two choices. When it gets to a point where our health is affected, either the things around you is going to fall apart and go chaotic and bad, or you are, and then ultimately the things around you will as well. So at some point we have to get to the place where we say, okay, those are the things, we'll just have to wait, and if it falls apart, it falls apart, but I need to take care of myself first. So maybe we need to practice not doing so many things at the same time. Focus on one thing at a time. I know I do that often. I'm a solo mom to 2 children, so I am everything all the time. But I am always consciously aware of being present, and I don't always get it right, but I try to. If I'm doing a tarot reading, the boys have to wait. They just have to learn to wait. If I am playing with the boys, then that is where my attention needs to be. And that's good for me as well, to stop thinking about the bowl, stop thinking about the chores and all of those other things. So then we just play. And if supper isn't cooked because we're playing right now, then we'll have toast and tea, if that's what we need at that time is some play, then that's what we need. And the next meal can be a healthy one. So we need to stop juggling all these physical things, and get ourselves to a place where our lives can be balanced, so that the effects that we have, that is a result on our body, our minds, our emotions, is not so severe. It takes time to get there, finding the balance, and often it requires eliminating things that are no longer serving us or that is not for our well-being, whether that is too many responsibilities to too many people. Let some people take responsibility for themselves. There goes my earpiece. Ask for help. Lessen the burden on yourself. Okay. What's the next question? How can I... Okay, what is something that my body is trying to tell me? I know these questions sound very similar, but there's different messages that come through depending on what the card is telling us and what messages need to come through. Something my body is trying to tell me. One card, please. Something my body is trying to tell me. I'm playing around with camera setup. And this one seems to be working, but I'm still adjusting to it. Something my body is trying to tell me. One card, please. Something my body is trying to tell me. One card, please. Clearly our bodies is trying to tell us a lot. One card, please. What is my body trying to tell me? Okay. I'm going to choose. The two came out, so we'll take it. Something my body is trying to tell me. We have the Judgment card and the Six of Cups. Okay, so the Judgment card is a calling. So our inner beings, our higher selves, is calling us to Cups are our emotions and Sixes are balance. And the Six of Cups is generally unconditional love, or that higher love, soul love, childlike love. So I feel like we are being called, our body is calling out, our bodies are calling out to us to find a balance with our emotional well-being, but also to give ourselves self-love and self-care. We are always focused on the external and other people, often before ourselves. And our bodies are really calling out to us to be aware of our emotions and to give back to ourselves emotionally. Do the things that make you feel happy. Do the things that make you feel passionate. What are the things that light you up? Okay, last question. How can I show gratitude to my physical body? One card, please. That one. The devil. How can I show gratitude to my body? So immediately when I see the devil, I'm thinking of temptation. I'm thinking of being tied to things that are not good for us. So you can show your body you appreciate it, or your physical self that you appreciate yourself by cutting attachments to the things that are not good for you. And that, isn't always easy, because sometimes that is a relationship with someone else, sometimes that is a job, but sometimes it's not an external thing and it's an internal thing. Sometimes it's attachments to old stories about yourself. Sometimes it's attachments to how you feel about yourself. So I might have a low self-esteem and not think that I'm pretty, or I might feel that I'm unattractive because I am overweight, or I have blemishes or acne, whatever. It could be an internal thing, like I don't believe I'm capable of achieving something, or I don't believe that I'm worthy of having a healthy relationships with other people, or I don't believe that I deserve rest or praise. So we could have negative attachments to emotions, the way we feel about ourselves, other people, resentment and anger, attachments to past experiences or past traumas, or attachments to things in our present that is no longer good for us. And Teal Swan has this thing where she says, if you loved yourself, would you do X? So if I'm feeling hungry now, I sometimes feel like, no, I just want to finish this thing and then I'll eat. And then I stop and ask myself, if I loved myself, would I feed myself? The answer is always very obvious and straightforward. Well, most of the time. So if you loved yourself, would you stay in that toxic relationship? If you loved yourself, would you stay in a job where you are unappreciated and underpaid and overworked? If you loved yourself, would you push yourself further than you have the capacity to go? If you loved yourself, would you take yourself out on a date or buy yourself that nice pair of shoes that you've wanted? Or that big dream that you've always had. If you loved yourself, what would you do? So the same way we would buy someone else a gift or an act of service to show appreciation, maybe take a moment today or right now to think about how you could show yourself more gratitude right now. So I was going to clarify these cards, but we are already at over 20 minutes. So I'm going to pull one more card for guidance, and I'll see what the card is telling me, but then I'll also read from the book. Okay, 2. So this is guidance. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Cups is emotions. She allows herself to feel her emotions. She is balanced emotionally. She's open to giving and receiving love. She is standing on a ball holding a cup. So that's telling me she's balanced in her emotions, and the cup is open so she can give and receive. And then we have the 10 of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment. But I want to read from the book to get some extra specific guidance. Under self-care for the Queen of Cups, the book says, many of us have the hearts of poets, but we forget this.
Don't come into my room. That's where the surprise is.
Our boys are yelling. Our goals and life gets in the way. Drop any fears, self-judgments, or a lack of conviction and do this. Write some poetry. Oh yeah, I can advocate for this. Writing poetry is really, really a very, I don't even know how to phrase it. It is really a way of getting in touch with your emotions and getting a better understanding of how you feel, how you love, and how you want to be loved. So yeah, I can advocate for writing poetry. It doesn't have to rhyme. They don't have to be stanzas and rules. Just write whatever comes to you by tapping into your inner creative emotional resources. See if you can theme your poetry around the topic of self-love. Notice what this brings up. Yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've been writing poetry over the last couple of years, and it's changed my life. So I can definitely advocate for that. I've always been a writer, but not a academically taught writer. I've always just done it. So yeah, I don't always pay attention to structure and being very technical about writing and poetry. I just write what really I'm feeling. So yeah, that has been extremely helpful for me. Okay, the Cups. Research the Konmari Method. It's a system of tidying up created by Marie Kondo. I think I've checked that out before. In which you look at every item you own and say, does this spark joy? If not, get rid of it, or donate it. Buy or borrow Kondo's books from the library. I'm sure you can find it online and try it. You'll be amazed at how mindful and emotionally fulfilling the process can be. The reality is that we need so little to be comfortable and joyful. Okay, so this is basically decluttering, getting rid of excess baggage, feng shuiing our environment aesthetically, having a pleasing environment that makes you feel good. Um, the less things we have, the more we can appreciate what we have. So yeah, try and tidy up, try and get rid of things that we no longer need. That also makes room for things that, new things that we do need. And that could be internally or externally. And that is our self-care, self-love reading. What is your physical body trying to tell you? I feel like you can't really separate the physical from the emotional, spiritual, and mental. I try to aim at the physical, but really the physical is dependent on all the other aspects of ourselves. If you like this type of reading, please let me know in the comments. Um, please hit the like button. Please share with anyone you think it might be helpful for. Your feedback helps me guide my reading, so I would really love to hear in the comments what you think. I really enjoyed this reading. It was really helpful for me as well. I Yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe.